The door says nothing. Your hand is on the handle. Your brain is holding a blank ticket. It whispers, "Come back when you're confident enough to deserve it." So you wait in the hallway. You fix your shirt. You rehearse one sentence 12 times. The ticket stays blank. That is the trap most people call confidence. It looks like preparation. It feels responsible. But it quietly turns your life into a waiting room. One day you are not asking for a promotion. You are improving the email draft. Then you are improving the draft about improving the draft. At some point, the door is not the problem anymore. The hallway has become a habit. This video is about the blank ticket, why it never stamps itself, and why real confidence usually arrives late. Not before the first move. After it. Confidence is not a mood you wait for, it is a receipt your nervous system files away. A small record that says, "I moved, I shook, I stayed, and I was still here when it ended." The mistake starts early. Somewhere you learn that confident people feel certain. They walk into rooms with clean lines. They answer fast. They do not need 5 minutes in the bathroom first. So when your chest tightens, you assume the ticket is invalid. Wrong body, wrong timing, wrong personality. You turn around before the door can even refuse you. The strange part is that nervousness often means you are close to something real, not always danger. Sometimes importance. A first honest boundary, a question that might make you visible. A choice that changes how people categorize you. Your body sees visibility as weather. It checks the sky. It checks the exits. It checks whether you have survived this kind of room before. If the file is empty, it sends static. Not because you are broken, because the evidence drawer is bare. This is why slogans bounce off. A mirror note can say, "Believe in yourself." Your shoulders can still climb to your ears. Your nervous system is annoyingly literal. It does not want a poster. It wants a receipt. A receipt is boring. That is why it works. One email sent with hands that did not feel ready. One sentence said without polishing it into a marble statue. One small no spoken before the perfect no arrives. The move does not need to be impressive. It needs to be complete. Completed actions leave evidence. Avoided actions leave stories. And stories grow in the dark. They say, "You would have failed." They say they would have laughed. They say, "Wait until your voice sounds different." The receipt says something smaller. It says, "Tuesday 3:14, you sent it." No lightning, no collapse, just evidence. The first arena is work. Work is full of invisible doors. The meeting door, the salary door. The door where you say, "I need more time." Most people wait for a heroic version of themselves. That version is always stuck in traffic. The practical version is smaller. It writes one ugly first sentence. It asks one clear question. It lets the silence last 2 seconds longer. Then it keeps the receipt. The second arena is relationships. This is where confidence gets confused with being easy. You call it kindness. But sometimes it is a ticket you keep handing away. You laugh at the joke that nicked you. You say, "No worries," while worrying for 2 days. You keep the door open for people who never knock. A boundary does not need a trumpet. Sometimes it is one plain line on the floor. "I cannot do that tonight. Please ask me earlier next time. That did not feel good." Tiny sentences, huge receipts. The third arena is identity. This is the door with the heaviest handle. Changing jobs, starting over, being seen as a beginner at 30, 40, or 60. The blank ticket gets loud here. It asks for a whole new personality before one small experiment. But identity rarely changes by announcement. It changes by repeated evidence. You do the beginner thing on Monday. You survive being awkward on Wednesday. You return on Friday without a parade. The hallway shortens by inches. Then one day, the door is still a door. But it is no longer a verdict. Here is the midpoint reframe. Confidence is not the absence of self-doubt. It is the memory of movement inside self-doubt. The doubtful voice may still sit in the room. It just stops holding the keys. This matters because fake confidence is everywhere. Fake confidence performs certainty. It makes the voice louder. It decorates the ticket with gold ink. It calls every question weakness. For a while it looks powerful. Then a real door appears. And the costume has no receipts. Quiet confidence is less photogenic. It does not need to win the room in 10 seconds. It can say, "I do not know yet." It can ask for the page again. It can repair a sentence after it lands badly. It is sturdy because it has survived being ordinary. That is the part nobody sells on a poster. The ordinary part. The part where your hand shakes and you still click send. The part where your face warms and you still ask. The part where you leave the party early and nobody explodes. Confidence grows there, not in the highlight reel, in the tiny after. So here is the exercise. For the next 7 days, stop asking, "Do I feel confident?" Ask a smaller question. What receipt can I collect today? Not a life makeover, a receipt. Before the action, write the prediction. If I send this, they will think I am annoying. If I ask, everyone will stare. If I say no, they will leave. Then make the move small enough to actually do. Send the clean version, not the perfect version. Ask the question after one breath. Say the boundary in one sentence. Afterward, write what happened, not what it felt like. What happened? Feelings are weather, receipts are floorboards. You need both, but only one can hold weight. Do this long enough and something strange happens. The ticket stops asking for permission. It starts asking for evidence. The door does not become magical. You become less willing to worship it. You still prepare. You still care. You still get that little electric feeling before being seen. But now the hallway has receipts on the wall. The email receipt, the question receipt, the boundary receipt, the beginner receipt. They do not shout. They just sit there, quietly factual. And facts are kind when your brain is making weather. This is not about becoming fearless. Fearless is usually a mask or a medical emergency. You are allowed to be afraid. You are allowed to be awkward. You are allowed to need one breath at the handle. The move is not to erase the hallway. The move is to stop living there. So tomorrow, pick one door. Make it small. Make it honest. Make it finished. Then keep the receipt. Not because one receipt changes your whole life, because a life is exactly where receipts gather. The door says nothing. Your hand is still on the handle. The ticket may still look blank. That is fine. It was never proof you were ready. It was a place to put proof after you moved. Open the door.